right, it being 5:30, we're going to call the order of the meeting of Tnfd Fire EMS. President of 3 commissioners, chief, deputy, and Kathy. All right. Public comment. Nothing? All right. All right, correspondence. We had something from Westcott Law.
So I believe I sent that to you in the emails. There was two.
There's 2?
Well, they kind of look the same. Or maybe they are the same. Let me see what
That was the same. Postponing.
Yep.
Well, there was one that was, we were having it, and then there was something else that it was.
When I saw when I looked at the dates, it was like the original, and it was like a thread, but I could be wrong.
Well, there was the one
So
about,
basically, there was the first, the email that, where you had some concerns.
Yes.
And
Oh, did yeah, that
he
one too.
answered those.
He did. Correct. Not as good as the answers.
And
The second one was postponing that there was a scheduling issue.
yes. I also included one where Attorney Brown from the Water District contacted the Fire District directly and where she shouldn't have done that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that was-
confused. We had that one,
That's the one.
am I missing anything?
I read that one a while ago.
There
We
was-
included that.
Because there was one where they sent us, you sent us a thing saying that it was gonna be, I think, the 18th.
It was.
Yes.
And then there was another one that canceled that,
Yep.
and we haven't heard back a new date.
So they put it in the hands of the Water District to come up with some dates that they would be
Yes.
available. And they
I haven't.
have not replied or
How
come
long
up
ago
with
was
that
that letter? I read it today.
yet.
That was last week.
I don't know if they're maybe waiting to meet. Again, I don't know how the water commissioners meet, how often they meet.
It's been like 3 weeks, hasn't it?
It's been a couple weeks anyways.
So it was March 22nd, we're available for the 18th. Check your calendar. And then from you back, and you confirmed on March 23rd that that date was good with us. And then she sent something to you direct on March 23rd that she just recently heard from the opposing counsel that April 18th will not work for them.
Yes.
So I don't know who the opposing counsel is when she's talking about someone opposing her, since she is the opposing counsel.
Well, I thought it came from,
Sharon Chapman.
Sharon Chapman is an associate with
Okay.
Westcott Law.
Okay.
yeah, I was gonna say, I thought she was from this
Yep.
one.
So that was back March 23rd. And so
Seems
it's
like it's so
been,
much longer than that.
yeah, so it's been 8 plus 5, so it's been 13 days and still they haven't done anything. So it's just, we need to keep it well documented so that when it does eventually make it to court, it's like, listen, here's the timeline, and apparently it wasn't an interest to them. So the judge can see that. Document it all out. As soon as they get us some dates. I'll adjust my schedule the best I can. Once they give us a
Yeah.
few dates, not just like the one a week.
That's what they're supposed to do, they're supposed to give us a few
Yeah.
dates now.
So, all right. I don't think we have any action to do on it at this time.
No, it was just informational.
Yep. We're just pending their suggested dates. I'd like to be able to work it out with the water district and have kumbaya like the taxpayers want, but it takes 2. All right, then chief's report.
So I've also forwarded you the chief's report from last Friday.
You did?
Yes, I did.
I didn't see it. Never
Any
came
email?
through.
Never came through?
No.
Well, I do have an email, but
No, it went to a different email. Kathy had told me that and I looked.
It was Friday. I sent it out. Well, you have it in front of you anyways.
I
Yep.
never got it.
I'll have to check, it's hard to do it from the phone.
Yeah, well, we got it here. Looking-
Friday, it was Friday, Steve. April 1st, I know it's April
Yes.
Fool's.
That's why you say you sent it that
Yeah,
day.
it's April Fool's. I have nothing from you.
Yeah,
Wow.
it got hung up somewhere.
It's probably a draft, I do that all the time.
It might be in draft, I'll
Yeah.
check it on my
Probably.
computer.
I do that all the time. I think I hit send and I'm like, why didn't you respond? I never got it.
So we haven't seen it until now, so you're probably gonna have to be a little bit more detailed.
Yeah, so, as you know, the unassigned fund balance is $271,159 after the district meeting action. The operating budget, we've expended 26% and we're at 25%.
I think we should be concerned with that.
Not yet, no.
The 271, there's an additional 225 or 250 locked up in a fund.
The water district, the fund that the accountant set aside is.
Correct.
201?
It's restricted.
Yeah.
It's restricted for that only.
Yes.
But so
Yes.
when you say the 271, there is money set aside for that
Yes.
That's correct.
201. Okay.
Ambulance revenue through March, well, did we get the updated? Not yet, because, so Comstar had a glitch, and so these are not all the revenues that we have. They haven't sent them out yet.
They got hacked,
Yeah.
ransomed.
Comstar did.
Yes.
And all of our data that they hold, it was partitioned.
No, that was all protected. It was their email system that got.
The email
Okay.
system got
And
hacked.
it's just, that's the first question that comes up, is
So
as long as
no-
the
I
house
know,
petitioned.
We went
No
through that.
client data
Good.
or information was lost.
Thank you.
And of course, let's see, ambulance revenue down, but we still haven't received March's thing yet.
The minutes down is like one call, really.
Yeah. And as you know, the audit has completed the week of March 9th, but we're still waiting the final report. Okay.
You want solar?
The submarine.
No. They come through the window right now.
Fire prevention.
Any questions on that so far? All right.
I'm good, they're good.
For the month of March, we had 39 fire prevention inspections. Those are included in your report.
Looks like small things, right? Nothing significant.
Nothing, not yet anyways, it will be though.
Yeah, I see you have a lot of pre-check inspections. I'm sure they'll add up in the long, down the road.
What's that?
I think
Okay.
so.
The run report for March of '22, also included in your handout. What included not in the handout? I have a typo in there. There were 139 incidents. 101 of those incidents were EMS in nature, equating to 73% of our total incident volume for the month. And the engine responded with the ambulance 38 times for EMS and NVA incidents.
38%.
38 times.
No, 30%. Because it's 101.
Yeah, I guess, yes,
Simple math from there.
yes.
Brag about it.
When we go on overlapping,
You can, no, I'll just remove the calls on.
overlapping calls, we had 54 last month, equating to 39% of all incidents for the month. We received 2 mutual aid ambulance responses, with 1 transporting. We responded with our ambulance 4 times. We received 0 mutual aid engine responses, and we responded with our engine once.
The 4 that you responded to, was it ambulance or engine?
Mutual aid ambulance.
Okay, were you able to transport?
I didn't dig that deep.
Get the money? Just,
I don't know. I can find out.
yeah, that would probably just something, because that's obviously if they transport one from us and they got the pot, whereas if we responded 4 times and we were able to transport 2 of the 4,
All right,
it kind of
All
washes
right,
in the
I can look
benefit.
that up right now.
all right.
What was the date?
No, I didn't
Yeah,
do the dates. I just
That's
added
not
it up in
critical.
my head.
March 1 to March 31.
Wait a second, wait a
Okay.
second.
You only have to look through 139. That's just a slow
it's
month.
not critical, it's just that's a good bit of information, especially for the public where we're,
Well, I know you do it at the end of the year, it adds up to.
Yeah.
It adds
yeah,
up
it
quite a
can
bit.
add up over 12 months.
Does it say where we went?
No, I have the, I have,
Okay.
Don't.
these 4 incidents.
Oh, okay, the incident number's out.
Yep.
I mean, not critical, but it's just nice to have.
Sure. I'll make sure I include that next month.
Yeah.
Moving on to apparatus. The new engine 2, which we have here, is scheduled to be soon going back to binging machine to have the on-spots installed, and a couple other little things, little tweaks. The tanker 1, the main pump drain valve, that's been repaired. It's back in service now. We just all got that
Tell
little.
the music.
Yeah. The new A2 is at the dealership currently, and they're waiting for a part.
Where's
Once-
the dealership?
North Attleboro Greenwood Fire Apparatus.
Okay, nice.
Once that part arrives,
Is it a chip?
no, I don't.
Oh,
I didn't
A lot of
specifically
people are
ask
still waiting.
what part. They said it's all ready to go. It's leaded and everything, but they're just waiting for that one part.
Oh, it's lettered already too?
Yeah.
You've already got that? Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
The only thing, when they let me know when it's ready, I'll schedule the current A2 to go to OME to have the radios ripped out. Once they're ripped out, I'll take the old A2 down to Greenwood, pick up the new A2, bring it back to the radio shop, let them install the radios in the new ambulance, and then it can be stocked and go in service shortly thereafter.
And you said also that you had the security cabinet for the
That's all.
pharmacology.
That's installed.
So there's a new one there?
Yep.
We couldn't reuse the old one?
We reused the old one.
So it's
the-
already out of the ambulance?
It's already out.
So
the
your
A2 is
BLS in there now?
It's a
Okay.
BLS ambulance.
Okay. Okay.
What's it what?
A BLS ambulance.
Basic life support, doesn't have all the advanced drugs
Gotcha.
because of the security in it.
We transported 2 of these.
Oh, so we're up 1.
All right.
That's fine. We're up one, that's the important part.
Next thing, do we get paid?
Well,
They were billed.
another whole
As
thing.
whether we got paid or not, I do not know.
Don't do good transport.
And
don't
I
get
will
paid.
not know.
Yeah.
All right. So that's
I sent you the new engine 1, still scheduled to go in June for the chassis inspection in Ohio, and the completed apparatus inspection sometime in July, that would be in Pennsylvania. I talked to Larry Friday and to firm up those dates, because, I'm trying to plan things out, and he said he'd get back to me, because he
Does he go
couldn't do
with
it.
you on that?
Yes, he does, yeah. When we go out to Ohio, that's a flight, and when we go to Pennsylvania, drive.
Now, do we cover just our representative, or is Larry covered under us as well?
They pay for everything
He,
on these trips.
oh, they cover your
They cover-
inspection flights as part of the package?
Yes,
So it's included.
it's included in the price of the trip.
Okay. All right. Good.
I like that. I mean, you're still paying for it.
We're paying for it.
Yeah.
one way or the
We
other.
don't
Yeah.
have to write another check for it.
Right.
So-
The new car 3 has been ordered. It's at MHQ. It was a leftover, I sent you the details of it. It was a car that was not claimed by one municipality in Massachusetts, and they offered it to us, so we grabbed it, and they ordered the lighting package for it. And we're waiting for that to come in, and then it'll be installed, and we'll go get it.
I assume with it, you said it was the police that we are gonna have to do painting and lettering,
It'll
paint.
come all red with
Oh.
everything the way it's supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Still be under budget, so
Keywords?
it is a Dodge.
It is the only thing in this country right now. I spent an entire
I
week.
don't care if it's a Pinto at this point.
I had one in Florida ready for the chief to sign off on, and they said they were gonna save it for the weekend, and
It was gone.
When I came back Monday, they ghosted us.
Of course they did. Who cares about New Hampshire?
Apparatus.
How long do you think it'll take for all that with MHQ?
It depends upon Whalen getting the parts to them.
No.
So hopefully not too long.
We're coming out of the good season, but is there a way of testing the on spots without snow and all that, just to make sure that there's no issues? I
Well,
mean,
yeah, you can deploy them.
You can, and then drive them a little bit on the, I mean, I know you can use them a little bit on pavement, but they're designed to have mush around them and all that. Just to
Yeah.
make sure,
we can definitely test it out.
yeah. It's like AC, you don't check in the winter, but.
We're not gonna leave dinges without making sure that they work.
Okay, if you have to get a snow gun going somewhere.
Just
Get the
wondering
gun
that.
stock or something and have it blow some snow.
Any questions on that?
Transportation, I should have jumped in there.
I know one of the benefits of going to the expedition was the
box.
The box.
Yeah, do we have to buy a new box now? Or?
So, the old box does not fit in the new vehicle,
Hmm.
but,
Still
with-
puts it up there.
we have, the radios are gonna be mounted in the new vehicle using the system, same type of system that we have in the Explorer, and there's still money left if we have to arrange to get the SCBA mounts and stuff like that. So, it's one of those things that kind of have to see what it looks like before we find out exactly.
So we did have to downsize, so that's not,
Yeah, it's like 6 inches too narrow.
and that's
unfortunately.
kind of what we saw with the Explorers and all that, that we knew
Exactly.
was gonna be the issue. Are you trading in the existing C3?
Yes,
And is the box part of the trade-in deal?
we can take the box out, I'm sure they don't want it, but
I'm just thinking that there's a lot of departments around here with larger vehicles where someone would probably like a discounted box. I mean, if they're not gonna give us any dollar amount for it, we probably could put it out through the local network and at least get maybe the installation costs of radios back or something. It's, I look at every penny.
yeah, I understand that. The box, I don't, we'll put it out there, we'll see what happens.
See, I mean, yeah. It may save another department.
I'm trying to think how we're gonna get it back. Because
Take it
it's
out before it
going,
goes down.
no, all the radios and everything that, in the,
They're taking it out,
our-
moving it over.
The wire channels and stuff
charger
like that are going through it.
the chassis are actually mounted to the box currently. So,
Maybe we can cut it with it when it's in the back of current car 3.
Smiling
Yes,
too much
that's
when you
true.
say that. Think it's
we'll
all.
think of something.
See if we can. I mean, that's just an opportunity of saving some money that may offset some of the wiring costs, or even if it's just that labor of that. Anything we can do to maximize the potential. I mean, rather than just give away something like, because if we don't sell it to someone else, they're gonna,
Might.
they'll pull it out and say, hey.
Correct me if I'm wrong, chief, but no matter kind of what direction we go, we're probably going to be definitely going to be under budget for
Yes.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
this vehicle is it was less expensive than the
Yeah, but
Expedition.
even if we're under budget
Yeah.
by 10, I'm going to be under budget by
It won't
12
be
if I
by 10, it
can.
might be,
I'm just saying,
It is an all-wheel drive, right?
yes,
all-wheel drive.
yes, all-wheel drive, yes. All right, we'll figure something out.
yeah, if we can.
Yep. COVID-19, as everybody aware, we're still operating under the revised state EMS protocols. The front door is still locked, and for visitors, we still have an entry protocol in place.
I have a question.
Yep.
I believe our website says our buildings are open to the public.
I don't
It does.
know. Well, they can come in, but they have to,
They can't just walk in.
no one can just walk in.
Gotcha. You still go.
Yes.
Okay.
What was your question, Paul? Was it up above when we?
Yeah, it was the
opened
overlapping call, the overlapping calls.
it up? Okay.
When we, how can I say that? When we call in mutual aid for a second call, Okay, say they come to Tilton, pick up somebody in Tilton,
Yeah.
they transport.
Yeah.
Do they pay for the service? What I mean by that, we don't, if they didn't have insurance, we wouldn't charge. Now, if they don't have insurance and Franklin transports, would they still have to pay Franklin?
Yes.
Because it would be Franklin.
Whoever
Because
gets
they're Franklin's
transported,
transport.
whoever does the
I see.
transport does the billing, either they get the money or they don't.
Well, that's what I mean. You're a resident of this town, you're calling in somebody to help you. Okay, say you were out on a call, you did a call and I had a heart attack, and you took me to the hospital, I didn't have any insurance. Why should I pay because you guys are out? And they called in Franklin to transport me. I pay for this service. Mutual aid, I pay for all that.
I see what you mean,
Yeah.
beyond what your
You're-
normal coverage
I'm
is.
I'm a resident and I'm
Yeah.
being transported by another,
Yeah. Well, either that or you're dead.
well, dead, yeah.
No. But it would be the same
I understand what
thing.
you're saying, but
It's gonna
you
come up one
would, you
of
would
these days.
fall under the policy of the transporting agency in that case.
I'm pretty sure that most of the municipalities have a hardship clause when they review
They do.
these type of incidents.
They all have to.
But they usually do for their own residents, so if
It's a lot
Franklin
easier.
They do it for
transported,
everybody.
I mean, so theoretically, if we transport someone from Samerton, who is a hardship case, as a practice, do we write it off, or do we?
They have to fill out the hardship request
form.
They go
paperwork.
through the process.
A process.
There is a process.
But even if there's not hardship, and I was transported by Franklin, and I didn't have insurance, why
This-
should,
The-
then I should say to them, hey, I don't want to get transported to you, because I don't want to pay you, I want to,
You could say that,
you can, but
yes.
I'm paying for a service, it should be there.
Well,
You
unless
guys,
you want to pay for, we have 2 ambulances
I
most of the
understand,
time.
I understand.
And so we're able to transport most of the time. But there are cases where people are ill or injured and we don't have the ability to do a transport. And if you are cognizant enough to say, I'm going to wait for a Tilton ambulance because I might have to pay, and if Tilton transports me, I don't want to pay, I won't have to. But if I have Franklin or Samberton or whoever transport me, you're going to have to fall under whatever their payment policy is. Or you want to wait?
Okay, let me put something else by you. Say I had my family with me, and I got in a car accident. Okay, you guys transported 2 of us, I didn't have insurance, so it paid for them, but the other 2 had to go with a private, so I'm gonna get nailed for them too, but not myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you have car insurance, that's part of they whack the car insurance before they whack your
Well,
health
I'm sure they
insurance.
will, I'm just, I'm surprised you never
Well, they're
run across
supposed to.
that yet.
The principle of it,
Yeah.
is what you're talking about.
Yeah. Now, I'm just curious what would happen if you, because that means if I didn't have insurance, they're gonna come after me, Franklin's gonna come after me. I'm gonna say, well, if I got transported by Tilton, I wouldn't have had to pay. So, I can argue with them and say that, who's gonna win though?
They are.
They are.
Okay.
They'd say it, but probably. Unless they had the hardship
Yeah.
practice policy to fill out too.
They do have, every municipality has to have a hardship policy. It's part of like the Medicare process. Doesn't mean you're
Appeal.
gonna win, appeal, it doesn't mean you're
Okay.
gonna win it, but if you go through the process and if you meet the guidelines, you will win, if you meet the guidelines. If you don't meet the guidelines, you won't. And there are many options beyond that. Sometimes it's just setting up a payment plan where, you $10 a month or something like that. Good enough, okay, if that's what you can afford, that's what you can afford, $1 a month. Once you set up a payment plan, as long as you follow that payment plan, as much or as little as that plan calls for, what you agree with the agency, that's what it is, what it is. And we get payments every month on a regular basis. Some of them are very small, and some of them are a little larger. It's worked out with the person, see whatever they can afford.
So you've never run across it really before? I mean, if we go to Franklin or Laconia or wherever and transport, we've always got paid.
No,
No,
no.
I know if there's a hardship, they're not gonna get paid, but what about
No, we get stiffed.
Yeah,
And then those people end up, if they go through the hardship process
I understand
and they
that,
meet the
sure.
hardships,
Yeah.
then that gets waived. If they don't meet the hardship because they have money and they just don't feel like paying us, then they go to collections. And if they don't pay in collections, it goes against their
Lane or something.
credit rating.
Remember, the state of New Hampshire doesn't pay us, they pay the recipient.
Right,
They get the check.
and then
What
we
they
have
do
to go
with it.
after them for that.
What they do with the check is totally up to them.
right.
And that's happened a number of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And we do go after those folks, but
Yep.
some of them pay, some of them don't. Some of them don't care if their credit rating goes down.
Okay.
Some of them use the ambulance as a form of income because they know they're going to get that check and they're not going to remit it to the provider. This happens here, happens in every municipality, happened to me down in Tewksbury when I was down there doing, the people get wise to the idea.
Well, if you ever come to my house, don't call me too late.
Well, the way I look at it, if you're well enough to make that decision, you probably didn't need to call in the first place.
Now, I'm
You know
telling
what?
you, even if I'm not,
I know the night my back went out.
He's got
I
to have
called
it
the
tattooed
boys
on his
gladly,
chest.
didn't give a shit what it cost.
He's gonna have it tattooed on his chest.
Yeah, trying to resuscitate.
Do not transport other than Tilton Northfield Fire Department. So,
no, okay, I'm just curious what they,
Okay. Didn't wanna-
All right.
So we're all caught up through COVID at
Yeah.
this time, everyone?
Any other questions?
Okay.
All right, still researching other methods of redundant internet service. I have most of that research done. It's just more money than what we've been appropriated through the budget process, so I just have to lay off for a year.
Well, as you may or may not know, there is a hearing on Thursday about Comcast coming to town.
Yes.
So that might be an option for you at some, I don't know. So the meeting technically is only about the TV license, but I'm sure that 90% of the questions are going to be about internet.
Do we hear good things about Comcast?
Yes.
Or-
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Concord,
provide,
they're pretty good.
I have, being in Laconia, I have the choice of being on Comcast or MetroCast, or
I think Belmont has
Breeze
Breeze
Line.
line,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, we're next. So.
Yeah, I was like, see you later, bye.
Yeah, I
how
just,
many you got?
I have Comcast
So
now.
do I, yeah. I haven't.
It can work.
Yeah, well, I had trouble with it, but they, God, they're right there fixing it.
They
one time,
are, yeah.
You call them up, within a day, they're right there.
Yeah.
They've come to my
Oh.
house twice.
I'll tell you the story after the meeting, my dealings with MetroCast.
Or whatever current name
Yeah.
they are
I know at
today.
work, we dropped MetroCast, they were awful.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to breeze right at it.
Park Street, the bathroom project is, I'd say 2/3 done, maybe a little bit more, 3/4 done. Fire department radio system, that's, everything's still waiting to review the grants that were submitted. The backlog in the state of, they lost a lot of personnel, and so everything's getting pushed back. The Safer Effect, that hasn't been changed since the last time I talked to you guys. We still have 3 call applications under review, going through the process. Currently working on, I've been researching some more locations for dry hydrants and water cistern locations. I'm gonna start having some conversations with some that have agreed to that and getting an agreement in place with the attorney agreement, and then getting a surveyor out there to map out the easement and all that kind of stuff, and then we can move forward with construction.
What they had system.
So as you know, the commissioners are the agents to that fund, and so when I bring stuff, it'll be up to you to make the final decision whether we make a purchase or not, or anything that gets expended out of that has to be approved by you guys. So we will not spend any money without your approval before that.
I think I was up in Owl's Nest the other day, and they have cisterns up in there.
Yes.
It was
Yes, they
really-
do.
It was really nice. I was like, it was in a residential, but it wasn't as like I don't wanna say offensive, but it's, you know, industrial looking as I thought it would be. But, cause you, I mean, you wouldn't know anything is on the ground, it's just
No.
a couple pipes sticking up
Those
the
were
ground.
set up in Campton, Thornton, and Ellsworth years ago,
Yeah, it's nice.
and as part of their, you know, if you start a development, you're expected to.
Right.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
that's like
nicely
drop
done.
one in or-
Yeah, I mean, no evidence of a tank on the ground,
No.
just a couple of the pipes coming out. and that
Couple
was
of
it.
pipes and manhole cover,
Yep.
pretty much.
I didn't see a manhole cover when I was driving, so.
There you go. Let's see, safe effect, personnel, dry hydrants. The first quarter reimbursement has been requested. That's in process for this year, this calendar year. The 2021 AFG request is for new all LDHOs, that's still pending. FEMA, the FEMA Go system, which is the system you log into to apply for grants and get reimbursement stuff, they had an upgrade, which caused a whole bunch of problems. And so that pushed everything back 3 weeks, so.
Sounds like every computer program I ever had. We're gonna upgrade it and make it better. And if it
Yeah,
doesn't
they were
work,
supposed
it
to
gets
add-
worse.
They were supposed to add more
Features.
features to it so that you could do your quarterly reports and your year-end reports and financial reports right in the system, whereas now you have to do it like in Word and then upload the document and stuff, but
Good old fashioned Excel spreadsheet.
it didn't work, as far as I can tell so far. And they're working on it. We've implemented the new records management system. We're starting to work on the implementation of the scheduling system that goes along with it. It's called Slate. Setting up the parameters of that and to work with our rules of how we hire people and stuff like that. And then the 2023 budget was starting to think about that already, getting the spreadsheet made up and future expenditures and how we're gonna lay those out. What we've done now. And I think that's it, except for the last thing, I got an email right after I made this, is that they're gonna start working on the tower this week. They're mobilizing at the site later this week, and they'll be digging the caissons theoretically on Monday.
Are they dig safe there?
There are all kinds of flags out there.
There's a million flags out
Well,
there. I don't know if they've dug
I don't know if
safe or
that means
not.
it's dig safe or not. It's just-
I don't know. That's their responsibility.
Yeah, but isn't ours as the landowner?
No. That's the contractor. Whoever doing the digging is supposed to do the dig safe.
That's just be bad if we were made an example of that.
I'll ask them.
I'm sure they probably, I mean, they've done this many, they get enough.
Contractors.
Yeah, of course they would know.
Yeah.
So the only thing that's out there right now that's, used to be a dump there, I guess, a landfill and stuff.
Years
like
ago,
that.
yeah.
Our propane doesn't go that far.
Propane-
It comes from the other,
There is no
Or
propane,
the
it's
natural
natural
gas-
gas.
the natural
They
gas
will
company.
bring natural gas to there,
Right.
and they will bring fiber and telephone service and electrical service to
off
the
the
site.
back corner of our station, I believe, right?
The natural gas will come from the back of the station, everything else will come from the street.
There's a generator down there right now. Is that for training purposes, or you guys
The
use that for night
generators-
training, or
Oh,
is that for them?
that's the states,
That's,
for the fighter 2 class that we're hosting.
Oh, nice.
it's the light tower, because they're at nighttime, so it gives them light.
Oh, didn't know you were doing one. Great. No, that's good. I did have one other question that, with the public meeting talking about the cisterns and all that, is there any chance that have you heard from any people that have like ponds at their house that are kind of interested?
Yes, I've actually researched a few of them. Some of them are a little bit more feasible than others.
Yep.
And some of them are saying, no, I don't want you guys near my yard.
Well, I was just glad that we had a few people. It's like, hey, yeah, you can use my water.
It's a lot better to get to know up front before you put all the work into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's
So
good.
hopefully the first knock on the door, you figure that out. Oh, no, okay.
Down there
Any more
before.
questions
Shuffle
on that
along.
stuff?
Trouble is they don't know, they can't stop us anyways from
Well, if we
rather than
want
that
it,
pond.
if we want the water out of that
Yeah.
pond, we can take it.
We can take it through draft, right? Do you have anything else from the front, Eric?
Any other questions?
No?
Hey, have you heard any more on 140 UPS?
Yes, it's going in.
I know it's going in because I've talked to a realtor.
I have not seen any building plans yet. The only thing that I've seen, it was a while ago, with the site plans, and we requested that they do a couple things, and they finally said, yes, they're gonna do it. That's the last I've heard of it.
It's moving forward.
They're probably waiting for construction costs, material costs, I imagine.
And then the only other question I have is our homepage, can we give it an uplift in some fashion?
You're looking at the wrong person.
I'm not saying that you, can we, through Tim, through,
I've been slowly working on
Okay.
it, and I'll get with Tim.
We should have, updated pictures and all that kind of stuff.
Kathy's been putting up, haven't you been putting up?
I've been trying to get some up, yes,
Yeah.
under our pictures thing. I put up a couple of little videos.
yeah, it's just the way
Working
it's
on it.
not very receptive looking at it. And like tonight when we got here, I went on there to see if the agenda was there. In the past, we apparently traditionally don't put our agenda of what it is.
Right.
That's one of the few agencies that I don't see a agenda ahead of time. And even if it's a generic, this is what we're looking to cover.
I didn't know if there was like the town of Northfield, they have a very nice website, and it's a template, I'm sure, it's a package. I don't know how much it costs, but I don't know if it's feasible to call, find out how easy it is to transition, it's just, because it is very,
Inviting.
it is, well, it is, but but it looks nice, it looks modern, it looks like it's for lack of a better comparison, it's a bigger town than it really is.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
It's just because it looks,
Market.
yeah, I mean, I could be looking at Exeter's website, which is a bigger town, in Northfield, and they could have the same backbone,
True.
and it just.
We can
it's
ask
just-
Stephanie.
just to
Okay.
see what
I'll talk to
happens.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
see what,
options are out there. I mean, and see if maybe we have some tech guys on the department that can help out in the processes. And absolutely, if you're not a strong computer person, don't expect you to be the lead of it. But hey, who can we find that can do it?
I'm real good at Excel.
There you go.
I just filed that for 2 weeks.
Yep.
that's not a problem, I have a person in mind.
There you. Yeah. So that's his report. The next thing would be the moderator stuff. Do we need to look over the budget portion and any question people had on that? First chance seeing it,
I was
but
looking at the fuel and it seemed like it was,
No, we're okay
yeah,
okay.
right now.
Yeah, right now.
yeah.
So would not. I mean, obviously it's costing more, but the amount of runs and stuff, it's not a giant worry yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
So, we're good, that's something that we're closely monitoring, because as you know, as everyone's aware, the fuel prices have gone up a lot higher than what we budgeted for.
Yep.
And so it's just one of those things that we're monitoring very closely.
How much is the tax? Is it 42 cents that we save again? Or 24? I know federal's 24. Or the state tax.
Federal, state,
We don't pay tax.
No, I know that. So that, like, okay, if I see the prices,
$4 a gallon, you take off like 42 cents or something.
right, so,
like that.
yeah, I just want to,
That's what we'd be paying.
well, because it's like 5 something right now. It's like 5.39 or down at exit 20. Because there's no diesel downtown, is there?
No,
Or in
no,
North
Cumberland's doesn't have one?
No, they're not diesel.
it's too small.
Urban and Michelle, that's it.
Yeah. I know I fill up all the time. I don't have a gas gauge.
No, you just have to go every day.
At least you can fill more than half tank still.
Yeah,
You-
sure.
Think of the positives.
Hopefully it shuts off at the right spot.
Does anyone have any questions from the budget that sticks out to them? Just want to get that.
Just as an FYI, the last fuel bill that we got was for the end of March, and diesel was $5.2 a gallon, and gas is $3.36.
That's not terrible.
So, no.
Because retail diesel's like a couple of $5.
Yeah.
That was for March.
That was for March.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, I'm looking.
There were
at
two
it.
different prices for diesel, so it must have dropped in there somewhere because the second price was 2 cents less.
Yeah, but then the next day it's skyrocketing.
Mhm.
Alright.
So just as an FYI.
You're good with everything so far, or is something else popping out to you before we move on?
Not bad.
You're caught up with everything so far?
Yeah, I just have something on the new business, so we'll get to it.
Okay, well, first off, we'll hit the first two of the listed.
Yeah.
New business moderator, so those numbers were sent out, the recount, or that's a vacancy. Those two.
Not yet. Kent is undecided on whether he wants to accept the moderator position. And the reason being is if we should have to have a special district meeting, he doesn't want to leave us in the lurch. And I haven't heard anything on the clerk.
Well, we never know, we may have a special district meeting through February, so you might as well just accept it.
So he wants to, I sent him the dates that we're meeting because he wants to meet with the board.
Okay.
He'll contact and let me know when he wants to.
I think he just wanted a mental break, and which
He
he's
needed
getting.
a mental break.
He did.
Which he's getting,
Yes.
because the school district just tore him apart.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, but he's been doing both for so long.
yes,
All right, so that was the moderator one that was added.
yes.
And then clerk, we don't have a clerk?
We don't,
Well,
we have a
technically we
clerk
do.
until she resigns.
Okay,
The same as with Kent, you know.
Has she given any indication?
Nothing. I have heard nothing from her.
That was Camden, right?
Yes,
Okay. Well, until we hear otherwise, she's our clerk.
that is correct.
you sent out, there was people
Don't poke the
who,
bear.
yeah, but
Yes, that is correct.
you had sent out the list of people that had
Yes.
the recount. Was there someone, I skimmed it.
Oh, someone that had the lead.
The lead or something.
Yeah, Kevin
Yes,
Waldron.
Kevin Waldron.
Wait, is
Three.
that, is that
With
for,
three.
With three,
Right.
that's how
Yes.
low it was.
is that for the clerk?
Yes.
That was for the clerk,
Yeah, he was writing
yes.
for the clerk as well, with only three. That,
Oh.
there was one or two of them where I saw there was like 12 or something, I thought. I didn't know if that was one of them.
That was, no,
Okay.
that was the moderator.
He had 8 for that.
So right now it's still, so we really probably need to reach out to her and
Yeah.
find her intent. I know.
But is,
I have sent her an email.
just haven't heard back.
Okay.
You know, and I'm waiting to hear from her.
All right, so if we don't hear from her, what is the legal way of, the legal process we should have to follow?
I will check into that.
To see if we put it out there and we appoint, or if we have to,
Well, does the commissioners do appoint?
Yes, the commissioners can't.
So-
Till the next election.
so, okay, so, yeah, if we could just find the ramifications, the process, just to make sure we have that in advance.
Yes,
And then maybe next month we'll talk about possibly if we have to post or something like that, and for people to submit their intentions. But between now and then, we'll just make sure we have all the ducks in a row in case we have to go that route, or if we hear back.
yes.
So I think that's a plan if you guys agree. That's good, bad?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So we'll go with it that way then.
Okay.
That and legal. Okay.
I will find out what I can.
Alright. And then we'll revisit the clerk next month. New business, let's go with you first.
It's more, it's not really business, it's more of a,
You want
I
me fired
told-
already?
no,
I've been one
I
meeting.
told you the story yesterday about it. And so yesterday morning, I was
Oh, that's right,
going
yes.
to, and I figured I'm gonna bring it up in public session,
That's
because I
good.
thought it was worth mentioning. So yesterday morning, as I was going to my car to go to work, I heard sirens. And Didn't know, in the morning, I don't know, daytime. I'm trying to think where I was going. I think I was coming here for town hall. So, I got to the traffic light in downtown, I'm on Prospect Street, and I see, and I can now hear sirens from my right, which was confusing me. And then all of a sudden, I saw the ladder truck coming down Park Street with its lights and sirens going. And I guess I can say who was driving it, because it was a good thing. It was driven by Captain Bob. And there was a car on Park Street that was going to make a left turn to head towards Franklin on Main Street. And when it saw the ladder truck coming, it was going to go to the right. And I saw his blinker on that he was going to go right, and I just saw disaster written all over it. And then at the same time, a Ford Explorer from Franklin and a fire truck from Franklin was going around the traffic that was stopped. And all I saw was the potential for a really bad accident about to happen, where the ladder truck was going to plow. And John's evasive driving, defensive driving, I think saved the situation, because he was able to swerve and go around that car. And I just thought it should be mentioned that I thought he did a very good job of driving, avoiding a possible accident. It was, I just thought it was worth mentioning, because he did a nice job. Because I just saw our ladder truck going down, and I was beginning to wonder how deep is the river, and the fire apparatus from Franklin, they kind of stopped and slowed down, and I think they waved each other on, but I just thought it was worth mentioning.
Well, just remember,
Yeah, I looked at my phone later on, like, wonder what's going on, because I'm like, oh, and there was something at Taco. I don't want to name the restaurant.
just keep in mind, and you don't see it as a public person, but, we've trained our people that we do have an intersection problem there, and we communicate.
Yeah.
When Franklin's coming and there's the potential, we're on the radio with the simple approaching Park and Main intersection.
Well, it's just never, I've
So,
seen Franklin respond before, I just never
Sure.
seen two at the same time, and now I'm thinking, okay, the Opticon system, is it going off, do they both have green
No,
lights?
it's only gonna make one green.
Right, I don't know
it's
if
gonna
it's-
confuse it,
Yeah,
and that's where the radio comes in.
yeah, no, it was just good, I just thought it was really worth mentioning,
Yeah.
because I
Good
just,
practice, then.
one, it saved an accident, and, it still looked like they were able to get to where they were going, and, yeah, so I just thought it was worth mentioning. So,
That's great to hear.
Thank you.
in public session, and, just,
Yeah, it's good feedback.
yeah, so there's, well, I just, I'm like, great, we're now gonna get a third fire truck for repair.
Oh.
Well, trust me, that bridge isn't as wide as you think when you see a big ladder truck on.
All right. Anything else for new business that comes to mind? Okay.
And those horns are really loud.
It's intentional.
Going on.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
All right, and the next thing is review minutes. March 22nd is a public session. Everyone have a chance to read them in advance?
Yep.
They did as well. Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of March 22nd, 2022 as written.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor of accepting March 22nd as written?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The next thing we have there is the non-public. We can actually review them here because of the way they're written, that we could actually review them in public as such. So you have them there. There's 2 sessions because there was 2 different matters under 2 different categories. I already identified 2 typing things, and Kathy's already fixed it on her record, so we have that identified based on.
Should they be mentioned in public, or?
One was a comment after your name,
Oh,
and the other one it was just a key strike, missed a T.
that's fine.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I just didn't know if we should.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Because of the nature of it and the nature of the minutes and what they're describing, it's clear enough that we can. And it was just a keystroke.
Yeah, I can put oil in the
So
fire.
I'll make a motion to
No, it hasn't melted.
approve the minutes.
Yep.
Non-public session number 1 and non-public session number 2.
That's what I was about to ask you. All right. So you're making a motion to
I'll
approve
second
both? Okay, so we got PPP. Okay, any discussion on the two of them to the level that we can in public? Okay, that being said, take a vote on accepting non-public session 1 and 2. Paul?
Yes.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm a yes too. 3-0. We're doing good. All right. Any other business? The next thing, one of them was signed manifest. Kathy said you were all set. You
All
got
set.
everyone?
Yes,
Was that, you emailed that to us, right?
She did.
yes.
I was the late bloomer to it. I
No,
signed
no,
it today.
I don't know, I get lost in, cause I get stuff from town and I get stuff from here.
Yeah, so I signed it today, so she was all set with that. The only other thing I want to bring up under any other business is that at some point, we do have to set up a time to do a review, your annual review that we owed. But I know that we were missing minutes or something from last time. Have we?
Right.
Yeah, and I am not having any luck, so
Okay.
shoot me now.
All right.
Chastise me in public, whatever you need to do.
So, I think,
I looked high and low, low and high, between the cushions.
I know I was typing a little bit, but then you were writing, so I think that, all right, so we'll have to, how do we want to go with that? Do we want to try and fit in this month, which is kind of crazy for everyone, or do we want to look at doing it in March?
Well, I would not wanna wait till
March.
March, because that's next year. This is April.
Yeah.
You want May?
Yeah, how about the other M1? Thank you.
May's gonna be,
Is it worse?
well, the first 2 weeks of May, yes. And then Commissioners, Osier's on vacation, the last full week of May.
No, I'm not gonna be on vacation then.
You're not?
No.
You've changed it?
Yeah.
Ownership canceled his vacation. No. Did you cancel your own vacation?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
did.
All right, so I'll take you off. So you're not on
No,
vacation.
not that
You
one.
said the first 2 weeks of May were kind of out.
I can tell you, give me a second.
I am on vacation May 7th.
You are, yes. Commissioner Pyra's on vacation the second week in May.
And I am not flying back,
I don't blame you.
unless someone likes to take me in as a non-tax dependent, because, and
That's what it's gonna lead to.
a good attorney, because,
So the first 2 weeks, Chief, you're busy.
Yeah, the third week is better for me.
Third week, yes.
Third week is the week of the 16th through the 20th is
Correct.
open at the moment, for the most part, which is scary.
let's take the 17th.
Commissioners meeting is the 3rd,
Correct.
and then I leave for the 24th for the following one.
The 17th?
17th looks like it's available. First come, first serve. Who's gonna grab it first?
You guys do.
So.
Get to it on a Wednesday. We could do it.
No, because then I gotta deal with
I'm
the station
Well,
stuff.
that's what I'm thinking, we could
Have
do
a
it at the
meeting about
19th
it?
hole or something.
We could do it.
No. Okay, so May 17th. All right.
And you'll find us a place, or
I will.
And what is a good time for everyone? 5:30 or 6?
6 is always ideal.
yeah, I can do anything.
I'll suggest that Tilton PD,
Do they have a small conference room?
or they have a meeting room.
Well, they have a small conference room too, besides looking at the chief's office, there's a little room to the left about this
Oh,
one.
yeah, there is a conference room there,
Yeah,
yeah.
because we don't need that giant space. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
the four of
To
us.
see if we can use that room. I don't know if you talked to Lieutenant Gilman or,
That's who I talked to arrange.
okay.
Okay, so let me,
I'm,
He was right in
I'm
front
going
of
to
me.
the National
like here.
Fire Academy. It's,
Yeah, that. We wouldn't have been
third
good.
week. No, no, third week of this
Wouldn't hurt
month.
my car, I got the push.
Fall on his car, right? Fall apart.
Thursday, and I'll be back
The
on
old,
Sunday.
Or our cars are held together by the window
Oh,
there,
no.
so.
And then I think I might be going
Yeah, that's actually a nice room, because it's
somewhere for a couple days with my
Yes.
family the following week for school.
And you wanted that at
Good.
We're
1,800?
gonna do
Yes,
Okay.
I think
the
that's
basketball hall
Is
of
it 6
fame.
a.m.? Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Thank you.
And some indoor
I knew it
star
makes it
racing stuff, and then we're gonna head over to
Cool.
Mystic, Connecticut,
6
6
p.m.
p.m. Do some stuff over there.
There is a reasonably priced hotel right
Make
there
sure that.
by the basketball hall.
Right across the street, right?
Across the parking lot.
Yeah, right, it's, I just looked at
So
it.
we'll meet with that, we'll
Yeah.
make sure we get good minutes and
We've been there
we'll work
several
it the best
times
we can.
when we've gone down to the
We
big
just-
meeting or something like
Part
that.
is we
Stay
owe
there.
that to you
And then
and
there's a,
wanna close that loop as
not
well.
a Chili's,
and
but
Establish
something
what
like
we're
Sure.
looking for this
right
year.
next to it.
Yeah, you're far enough away
Work
from the
out.
downtown area where you're not.
Alright.
So what do you want
Yes.
for that
Anything
meeting
like that was
from
kind
me?
of
Or, you can always go to the casino.
Wait,
I may have a copy of the contract, I
Sounds
don't
13,
guarantee I
I don't know
have
how
a
much
copy.
you-
So I think that would be a
Yeah.
big
Well,
part.
actually, it's 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought
I'm sure actually a lot.
that's where I thought I had them together, and I don't have a copy of the contract, so.
All right.
I know I did.
Okay.
Where the casino is,
Shall I email it?
In Connecticut?
Either that or.
No,
bring it.
Matt's
in-
MGM?
Yeah, he could do.
No,
he could
the
do-
Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of
I
Springfield.
thought-
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
You're talking about the
just-
MGM, that's the one.
Yeah,
Is
or
it?
we
Yeah.
pick it up in
Yeah,
advance,
I
that's
guess I
fine.
didn't remember.
I just wanna have a chance to digest and kinda go through it before it, rather than.
It is a lot
it's
better.
not like when it's
I mean,
here, it takes
it's
a.
not
Why
other
don't I
side of
plan on bringing it to the
The
next
Connecticut,
meeting?
Massachusetts
Okay.
line.
We can hand it off at
and,
the next meeting, and then we'd have it.
Definitely a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay. And that gives a chance to do a little bit of homework on it and all that. And that is a non-public, or is it a non-meeting or a non-public?
It's non-public.
It's a non-pub, it's a meeting but non-public. It's not, okay.
So you have to enter in public and then go.
And then
in.
close it and take minutes and all that way, okay.
90 series
I just
cars,
wasn't sure if it was a
like,
non-meeting,
like 2 tracks and
So, okay.
And then we'll not take minutes.
I'll take the
that
minutes
whole
this
deal
time.
before. Yeah, I'll do it from Holyoke somewhere, I don't know.
Alright,
I'll just double check on that to make sure.
yes, yeah, I just wanted to make sure, I wasn't sure how that fit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
I
being
think it's
said,
the place that has-
Anything else from anyone else, or any public comment, even though it's not on there, we'll give a second shot for anyone that wants to, that got upset during the meeting. All right,
I make a motion, we adjourn,
okay.
Second?
They also
Six.
have,
33.
Oh,
6:27.
6:27, I'm sorry.
obstacle
It's
courses.
Eric seconded.
uh,
Okay.
You know, all padded.
Any discussion?
Jump
Yeah,
here,
nice.
jump
Yeah,
there.
I got it over now.
But yeah, there's 2 tracks.
Okay,
Yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
It wasn't bad either, it was like,
All in favor?
I think it
On
was
favor, on favor.
Boston person.
Yeah, I do, 3-0.
Something like that.